The box wasn't on the list.
No one ordered it. Yet here it sat, taped, innocent, humming with a secret. What kind of mind hides a war inside a parcel and sets a nation hunting a ghost for 17 long years? A security officer leans in. A click, then a flash. Splinters, smoke, ringing ears. The bomb is small, more insult than atrocity, but it redraws an invisible line. If a gift can bite, what in an ordinary day can be trusted? Investigators cradle the fragments. Hand-carved wood, nails shaved to needles, match heads tamed into a trigger. The return label spells a professor's name. He never asked for it. A booby-trapped calling card is slipped into evidence. In a Chicago briefing room, a handful of clues grow teeth. Homemade, mailed, meticulous. No pattern yet, only a whisper that somewhere out there, a craftsman with a cause has chosen the U.S. mail as a fuse. Beyond the city hum, a different silence. Timber, a hand plane whispering, a lantern hand. The bomb maker's face stays out of frame. The question hangs heavier than smoke. What grievance could justify engineering a stranger's pain? America, 1970. Campuses hum, airliners knit coasts, computers flicker promise. Progress feels unstoppable, until a small box says otherwise. Suddenly the most ordinary touchpoint of modern life, the mail, must be treated like a loaded object. The device's quirks become a signature. Wooden casings, hand-soldered joints, labels scavenged from household supplies. Initials appear, FC, a philosophy tucked into 2 letters. The maker is stingy with mistakes, generous with intent. Another package at Northwestern. A curious student opens it. A bang, smoke, pain. Luck keeps the tally from tragedy. The case grows, barnacled in caution, as rumors wave across the quad like sirens. American Airlines Flight 444 fills with smoke. Pilots dive for Dulles. Passengers choke and pray. The bomb fizzles short of catastrophe. A near miss becomes a mandate. Find the maker before luck runs dry. Unabomber, university and airline bomber. Files multiply. Coffee cools untouched. Each parcel is a thesis in control and contempt. Each safe day a dare. A task force takes shape on the edge of exasperation. The bomber remains faceless, but his shadow lengthens. A craftsman who hates the world that carries his work. Somewhere a vice tightens, a blade kisses wood, and a private manifesto grows with every careful cut. Mailrooms become checkpoints, gloves, mirrors, x-rays. Professors learn a new etiquette. Do not trust what bears your name. The bomber doesn't need to be everywhere. Only everywhere a package could arrive. 1981, Utah. A device is found and flooded by a water cannon. It dies harmlessly, leaving a map of the maker's mind. Patient, exacting, intimate with failure and its avoidance. The wood's grain is as deliberate as impotence. More injuries from university labs and walkways. Michigan, Berkeley, Vanderbilt. The list grows like winter on a windshield. Slowly, then all at once. He signs FC and vanishes again, as if receding into the grain of his own wood.
Stakes sharpen. If a mailbox is a mine, daily life is a field. Students eye their syllabi like trap maps. Investigators drown in leads that break like surf. A nation practices a new ritual, suspicion as self-defense. A computer store owner kneels to move a package outside his Sacramento shop. The blast is decisive. A first death gives the case a darker gravity. Now the clock ticks not only toward fear, but morning. At Berkeley, an Air Force captain lifts a device. The blast steals what it can, leaves what it cannot. Hospital lights replace daylight. The bomber's patience has matured. His conscience has not. February 1987, Salt Lake City. A man in a hoodie and aviator shades is seen leaving a bag. The witness sketch becomes iconic. Blank eyes behind dark lenses, anonymity distilled to a mask the nation can memorize. In San Francisco, agents rename their endurance. The Unabomber task force becomes a marathon with pinboards. Computers catalog quirks. The phone never stops. Every day without a break feels like tempting the next. Letters arrive at newspapers and professors. The author claims a banner, Freedom Club. He rails at technology, at industry's trespass into the human soul. The devices become paragraphs in an angry essay mid smoke. A different thread begins long before the bombs. A boy genius enters Harvard at 16, conquers mathematics at Michigan, then dons a Berkeley professorship, and walks away. The map points to the mountains and a cabin without a cord.
In Montana, the cabin is a vow. No power, no pipes, only hand tools and winter's arithmetic. He tries to outrun civilization and finds it widening like a road behind him. His anger learns patience in the rings of wood. 2 packages, 2 coasts. A geneticist in California, a computer scientist at Yale. Both maimed, both alive. The bomber returns from his quiet season with sharpened grammar and a louder voice. TV screens revive the hooded face. Tip lines tremble. Conspiracy theories bud and wilt by morning. The investigation balloons, but the center holds. A handmade logic repeating itself in wood, wire, and wounded flesh. Linguists lean in. Odd turns of phrase, archaic idioms, pedantic rhythms. It's a fingerprint made of syllables, a lifelong conversation with dictionaries and grievance that can't help leaving tracks on paper. Enter a profiler who speaks paperwork like poetry. He reads the melody under menace, the writer's region, education, pride, and loneliness bleeding through keystrokes. It's not just what he says, it's how he can't help saying it. A suburban mailbox in New Jersey holds a corporate critique wrapped in paper. The ad executive who opens it dies on his own doorstep. The bomber has found a new theater, the front porch of the American dream. April 1995, Sacramento. A package addressed to a leader in forestry lands on another desk. The blast claims a life and a message. Policy is personal now. The manifesto is knocking, and it carries its own matches.
How do you negotiate with a ghost? The promise is chilling. Publish a 35,000-word essay and the killings stop. Law enforcement gambles that sunlight can disarm what bullets can't find. The Washington Post prints Industrial Society and Its Future. Breakfast tables become book clubs. Strangers argue in subway cars. A killer's ideas ride the morning commute like any op-ed. Precise, cold, humming with grievance. It exalts simplicity, denounces machines, sneers at institutions. To some, it reads like prophecy. To others, a diatribe scrawled in the margin of a crime. A wife reads the manifesto and hears an echo. She hands it to her husband. He hears not a stranger, but a sibling. The most intimate recognition in a public text, a brother's cadence, clear as a fingerprint. He calls a lawyer, then the FBI, quietly, cautiously. He asks for fairness and anonymity if he's wrong. If he's right, he may save lives by offering up his own blood. Morality tightens into a knot no hand enjoys untying. Agents feed letters into algorithms and minds. The odd inversion, eat your cake and have it too, surfaces in both texts, a habit rare enough to ring like a bell. Style, syntax, doctrine. 3 points draw a compass to one end. Probable cause builds from paper, memory, and a mapped life. A cabin off a dirt road, a scholar's past,
a craftsman's hands. The judge's signature will test a frontier door that stayed shut for 2 decades.
March thaws in Montana. Agents watch the cabin through pines, boots quiet in soggy duff. The distance between breathing and breaking in shrinks to a few boards and a door latch. Men with clipboards, a knock about property lines. The door opens. Hands move. A name passes from rumor to wrist. After 17 winters, the most wanted craftsman is in handcuffs on his own porch. A manual typewriter, glass jars, powders, spools of wire, wooden slats, a live device under construction, and pages, reams of them. The room feels like a thesis defended against the world with nails and nouns. The Unabomber is a solitary former prodigy. Neighbors recall a ghost in boots. Professors recall proofs like glass. The contrast snaps like a trap. Mind and malice sharing one cramped room. In court, a thin figure in a rumpled sweater sits under fluorescent judgment. He looks past the cameras, past the world he tried to wound into quiet. The spectacle feels too bright for a life so deliberately dimmed. Lawyers spar over sanity, strategy, and self. He resists an insanity plea, fearing it will void his manifesto. Judges weigh competence while a jury looms. Philosophy and procedure collide under buzzing lights. A plea ends the argument. He admits the bombs, the letters, the intent. Life without parole replaces a needle. The hunt that began with a package ends with a sentence that will not move.
In quiet rooms, a brother counts costs. He saved strangers by surrendering kin. Gratitude arrives mixed with grief, and letters that do not understand the weight of choosing the living over the love. Investigators box their maps. They speak of patience, of luck, of language as evidence. They learn to listen to commas, to staplers, to wood grain, to the ghosts that live in style when faces refuse to show. His cabin becomes an exhibit, 4 walls that taught a course on obsession. Visitors file past the sparse bed, the nailed jars, the typewriter, searching the splinters for a reason that can't be sanded smooth. Survivors rebuild, a keyboard taught with one hand, a lecture with cautious breath. Scars insist on their own schedules. The calendar keeps moving, but the mirror keeps score in ways headlines never could. The manifesto lingers online, provoking and dividing. Some scour it for sense, others for error. Ideas can outlive their authors, and sometimes their victims, like sparks that refuse to admit the fire they came from. The case changes the craft. Forensic linguistics graduates from hunch to handbook. Databases hum. Mail protocols become muscle memory. What began as splinters and smoke ends as a curriculum across agencies. Alienation is a quiet carpenter. Give it genius, isolation, time, and it can build a theology from scraps and a grievance from sap. The question endures. What repairs a soul that refuses the very tools that might help?
Return to that first package on a Midwestern desk. It looked like a favor, felt like a future, and detonated a hunt measured in winters. In its wake, a hard lesson. Sometimes the loudest evidence is the way a sentence breathes.